Over 3 decades ago, Keanu Reeves took part in a visually rich, hauntingly ambitious reimagining of a classic horror tale, Bram Stoker's Dracula, 1992, directed by cinematic icon Francis Ford Coppola. Despite its polarizing reception at the time, the film has aged into a visual classic, praised for its ambitious artistry and unforgettable atmosphere. While Reeves faced early criticism for his performance, the film as a whole stands today as one of the most stylized and dedicated adaptations of Dracula ever created. Coppola's fearless vision. Francis Ford Coppola is no stranger to grandeur. With legendary titles like the Godfather trilogy and Apocalypse Now under his belt, his name is synonymous with daring and visionary filmmaking. Bram Stoker's Dracula fits perfectly into his canon of bold experiments. It's both a faithful homage to Gothic horror and a lush, almost operatic spectacle that borders on fever dream. From costumes to set design, Coppola leaned heavily into practical effects and old-school movie magic, crafting a world that is beautiful, terrifying, and otherworldly. Unlike modern CGI-laden horrors, Coppola's Dracula feels deeply handcrafted. Each frame bursts with texture and color, creating an overwhelming yet mesmerizing experience. It's no surprise that even Roger Ebert, often critical of horror tropes, described it as a Gothic extravaganza and praised it for its unrelenting visual flair. A misunderstood Keanu Reeves. At the time, Keanu Reeves' casting as Jonathan Harker sparked criticism, largely centered around his British accent and perceived stiffness. However, in retrospect, his performance feels more purposeful than many give it credit for. Reeves wasn't trying to disappear into the role. Rather, his presence serves as a modern lens through which the story unfolds. His Harker is a man swept into a surreal nightmare, and Reeves' subtle discomfort actually complements the film's eerie, disorienting tone. Keanu's inclusion, alongside co-star Winona Ryder, reflects a conscious decision by Coppola to blend the old and the new, juxtaposing classic Gothic storytelling with modern Hollywood stars. The result is a film that feels timeless yet refreshingly contemporary in its casting and tone. Gary Oldman's unforgettable Dracula. Of course, Dracula wouldn't be what it is without Gary Oldman's performance. As the vampire count, Oldman brings both menace and melancholy, crafting a Dracula who is tragic as much as he is terrifying. His ability to command attention in every scene, regardless of the elaborate makeup or effects surrounding him, makes his portrayal one of the most memorable in horror history. Oldman's Dracula is not just a monster. He's a lover, a broken man, and a symbol of centuries-old pain. This layered performance is what elevates the film from just another adaptation to something mythic. A love letter to Gothic horror. More than just a horror film, Bram Stoker's Dracula is a tribute to the Gothic genre itself. With its heavy emphasis on atmosphere, sensuality, and moral decay, it taps into the darker themes of the original novel while delivering cinematic spectacle on an operatic scale. Every set piece feels carefully crafted, every costume intentionally chosen to evoke the decaying elegance of a haunted past. Even today, no other Dracula adaptation has quite managed to capture the richness of tone and fidelity to the novel in the way Coppola's version does. Recent interpretations, like Robert Eggers' upcoming Nosferatu, may chase the same Gothic spirit, but Bram Stoker's Dracula holds a unique place in cinematic history. Conclusion: a flawed, fearless masterpiece. Though not without its imperfections, Bram Stoker's Dracula remains a triumph of creative vision. Keanu Reeves, though criticized at first, plays a crucial role in grounding the film's fantasy. Gary Oldman redefined Dracula for a new generation. And Francis Ford Coppola crafted a dreamlike descent into madness that still holds power over audiences today. Roger Ebert was right to call it a Gothic extravaganza, because that's exactly what it is. Lavish, eerie, and emotionally charged, Bram Stoker's Dracula stands as one of the most ambitious horror films of the 1990s and perhaps one of the greatest Gothic films ever made.